Welcome back. Today we are in Proverbs chapter 26, verse 21. Verse 21 says, "As charcoal is to burning coals and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife." So think of charcoal, something it's easily flammable. It burns hot for a long time. We actually use it to cook, right? So charcoal is good for a fire if you want to keep the fire going, and so is wood. Right? And so all that stuff's burning. It says, "So is a contentious man who kindles strife." So a contentious man is somebody who's always looking for a fight, somebody who's always looking to oppose people, someone who enjoys that opposition, I guess. And wherever they are, you're going to have strife. That's what they're good for. They're good for creating strife. We don't use the word strife nowadays. We use drama. These people create lots of drama. So if you don't want drama, don't hang out with the contentious people. It's not good. The men or the women, if they're contentious, it's not a good thing. Verse 22 says, "The words of a talebearer are like tasty trifles, and they go down into the inmost body." So someone who's giving you tales, someone who's passing gossip around, you're like, "Ooh, I want to hear about this. Who did what? Who said what? What's that all about?" And you get so excited, and you don't even know why really you should be excited. Why do you care about this stuff? You shouldn't care, you don't care, but you do. And so like that, it just like goes down like you're eating candy, right? It's yummy. Verse 23 says, "Fervent lips with a wicked heart are like earthenware covered with silver dross." So if you have a wicked heart, but you're talking a lot, fervent lips. You've got earthware, which is pots covered with silver dross. It's the stuff that came out of the silver as the silver was being refined and purified. It's just grossness upon what's useful. And if you get a wicked heart, like that just stuff comes out of your mouth because you don't stop talking about it, and it just kind of ruins the earthen pot. You can't really use it for anything else because it's really gross. You gotta wash it first. So don't keep talking if you have a wicked heart. If you got a good heart, you probably won't talk as much. If you have a wicked heart, you're probably gonna talk a lot, and a lot of it's nonsense. So don't do that stuff. Verse 24, "He who hates disguises it with his lips and lays deceit within himself." So if you're hating somebody, you're probably going to be disguising it, trying to make it sound like, hey, it's not so bad, but it really is bad. You really do hate that person. And you know what God says about hatred? Hatred is murder. If you have hatred in your heart, you are murdering that person in your heart. So it's better to give that hatred up to the Lord. And some of us, we try to hide that. It's like, oh, I don't hate anybody, but really you do. And you try to hide it, and you're just deceiving yourself. Just admit you hate that person, and you're sorry that you hate that person. And you ask God to help you to not hate that person. Help God to help you love that person instead. And He will. He will give you a heart for that person. You will be surprised how God does that. Someone that you just absolutely hate and can't stand, all of a sudden becomes someone you're praying for, and you're loving, and you're helping out with a good heart, and it doesn't bother you anymore because God is that kind of God. And I kind of think of that. If there is a person that I hate, getting me to love that person instead of hating that person should be easier than getting God to love me, because I hated God once. I was against the Lord, and still He died on the cross for me. His love is so big that it encompassed me, and even though He never hated me at first, it still seems like a bigger bridge to cross, because I didn't like Him to get me to love God. And so the same way, if it's just a person, it's like, remember, if you don't like this person because of something bad they did to you, you've done worse things to God. So you were forgiven, so you should forgive others and stop hating people. Hating people's bad. Verse 25 says, "When he speaks kindly, do not believe him, for there are 7 abominations in his heart." Talking about the person who hates. Don't believe them when they're talking nice, because they're really just deceiving you. "Though his hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness will be revealed before the assembly." Everyone's going to know that he hates people. Don't worry about it. It won't last forever. "Whoever digs a pit will fall into it. Whoever rolls a stone will have it rolled back on him. A lying tongue hates those who are crushed by it, and a flattering mouth works ruin." If you are a bad person, everything you set up to try and do bad stuff towards other people is eventually going to come back to you. Don't call it karma, call it justice. God reigns, and He reigns supremely. God bless you, and we'll see you next time.